Asterisk Chapter 1. Dawn on the Sacred Lake. The gentle awakening asterisk. You wake slowly, very slowly, as if rising from the softest, deepest dream you have ever known. The first thing you hear is the faint, delicate whisper of reeds swaying in the morning breeze. A sound so gentle, so patient. It feels as if it has been calling to you for centuries. Your small wooden canoe rocks ever so slightly, rocking on the glassy waters of Lake Texcoco. The lake stretches endlessly before you, like a perfect mirror, holding the pale, fragile light of the pre-dawn sky. A thin veil of silver mist rises from the water, drifting and curling, like wandering spirits, ancient and kind, dancing above the surface. They carry the scent of fresh earth and blooming water lilies, a fragrance that wraps around you like a blessing. It is the year 1485, and you are adrift in the quiet heart of the floating gardens of Tenochtitlan, the great island city of the Mexica people, the Aztecs. All around you, the chinampas stretch in neat, endless lines, green ribbons of life floating on the sacred lake. These islands, built by the hands of your ancestors, woven from reeds, layered with rich black mud, are so alive that even the air above them feels fertile. They feed the great city. They are the city's beating heart. The canoe beneath you is carved from a single piece of cypress wood, smooth to the touch, the edges worn soft by countless journeys across these same waters. Your paddle, held gently in your hands, feels warm and familiar, as natural as breathing. You dip it into the water with slow, unhurried grace, the motion creating delicate ripples that spread outward, carrying with them the first hints of golden light. The water is warm, surprisingly warm for dawn, warmed by the hidden breath of underwater springs. The priests say these springs are gifts from Calcayatlacu, the jade-skirted goddess of rivers, lakes, and all flowing waters. You let your fingers trail just beneath the surface, feeling the silky smoothness, the soft pressure, the quiet power of something ancient and eternal. And then, ahead of you, the great city itself begins to appear from within the drifting mist. The massive stone temples rise like mountains from the island, their stepped pyramids catching the newborn sunlight on their sharp, ancient edges. You can see the great temple, the Templo Mayor, its twin peaks dedicated to Huitzilopochtli, god of war, and Tlaloc, god of rain and fertility. But in this sacred hour, before the city wakes, there is only stillness. Stillness so complete you can hear the sound of your own slow, steady breathing. Your canoe glides silently between the chinampas, past rows of maize tall and strong, their silk tassels heavy with shining dewdrops that catch the light and turn into tiny jewels. Tomato vines bow gently under the weight of ripe red fruit, and amaranth plants sway in the faint wind, their purple blossoms like thousands of small, glowing flames. You pause your paddling, allowing the canoe to drift on its own, the water carrying you where it wishes. The sounds of the morning gather around you, the soft lap of water against the reed walls, the faint whisper of leaves, and then the clear, musical cry of a quetzal bird in the distance. Its song echoes across the lake, a sound so pure it seems to open the air itself. The fragrance of cacao flowers drifts from the edges of the gardens, rich and sweet, blending with the deep, grounding scent of the dark, fertile soil. Every breath you take feels like a gift, slow, calm, filling your chest with the peace of this ancient place. As you draw closer to the city, you see the fishermen beginning their work. Their nets, woven from maguey fiber, shimmer with droplets as they are cast into the lake. The nets settle without a splash, and the fishermen wait, perfectly still, patient as herons. One fisherman pulls his net gently, and you see the flash of silver fish in the growing sunlight. Among them, you catch a glimpse of the axolotl, the sacred salamander, a creature linked to Zakiquetzal, goddess of beauty, love, and flowers. The fishermen take only what they need, always leaving enough for the lake to give again tomorrow. Your canoe continues its slow, hypnotic path, rocking in time with the heartbeat of the water. Each gentle wave cradles you, as though the goddess herself rocks you toward the edge of sleep once more. You let your eyelids lower, breathing deeper, slower, letting the peace seep into you. And as you float in this perfect stillness, remember that moments like this can stay with you. They can be returned to again and again just by closing your eyes. If you'd like to continue this journey with me, exploring more of these quiet mornings, these ancient, sacred waters, then you can gently press the like button and softly, without rush, subscribe to this channel. That way, whenever you need peace, it will be waiting for you here, ready to carry you back to the gentle waters of Tenochtitlan. For now, stay in the moment, listen to the soft lap of the lake, feel the warm air on your skin, and drift, drift, drift into calm. The sun climbs slowly and steadily, rising above the horizon until its light spills softly across the sacred waters, painting the vast sky in delicate layers of color. Gentle pinks like the inner shell of a conch, luminous gold like the precious metal your people trade with distant lands, and deep, serene blues like the polished turquoise stones set into the walls of temples and palaces. As the light strengthens, the stillness of the lake stirs, and in the growing glow you notice other canoes gliding across the surface, each carved with patience and skill from a single trunk, their shapes flowing as naturally as the water beneath them. Their wooden flanks are adorned with quiet beauty, painted with simple yet meaningful designs. Feathers that speak of the sky, flowers that honor the earth, and geometric patterns that echo the sacred order binding the heavens, the water, and the soil into one harmonious whole. Some of these canoes carry farmers bound for their chinampas, the floating gardens that feed the city, their vessels heavy with tools of obsidian, the volcanic glass sharper than any metal blade, glittering faintly as it catches the sunlight. Others carry women with woven baskets balanced carefully on their knees, heading toward the great market at Tlatelolco. Their voices drift over the water, soft and lilting, speaking in Nahuatl, the liquid, melodic language of your people. Words that seem to carry the memory of rivers and the music of wind in the reeds. The water beneath you is so clear it feels like air, revealing the life moving just below the surface. Small silver fish drifting in loose constellations, turning and swaying in unison, their scales scattering the sunlight into sparks, like tiny stars being born beneath the ripples. You dip your paddle once more, slowly and deliberately, feeling the gentle resistance of the lake, its quiet strength flowing against the wood. Each stroke moves you a little closer to the city, but there is no urgency, no need to hurry, only the steady rhythm of paddle and water, breath and heartbeat, each moment folding into the next like a calm wave folding into the shore. As you drift, a water lily floats past, its white petals flawless, opening in perfect symmetry to greet the warm touch of the sun. The Aztecs call it the heart of the lake, and as you lean closer you understand the name, for it sits calmly upon the surface yet draws life from deep below, connecting the hidden depths to the open sky, uniting the earth and the heavens in a single living symbol. You lean forward slightly, careful not to rock the canoe, and breathe in its fragrance. Fresh, delicate, carrying with it the feeling of morning itself. It smells of beginnings, of clarity, of peace. The scent moves through you, loosening the last traces of worry or thought, replacing them with a serenity that feels older than memory. Beneath the flower, the water is so perfectly still it holds the lily's reflection like a mirror, creating the illusion of two blossoms, one above and one below, both equally real, both equally beautiful. Here, nothing is separate. Everything is in balance. Every life a reflection of another, the world above echoing the world below. As the canoe drifts, you notice how the water changes with the distance. Near the shore it glows a pale, living green, colored by the reeds and grasses leaning over its edge. Farther out it deepens into a clear blue, and beyond that into the darker, richer blue-green that suggests depths you cannot see. Depths where the spirits of the ancestors and the guardians of the lake may dwell, unseen but always present. The morning mist still clings to the surface in thin, curling veils that drift slowly in the warming air, parting and reforming so that the distant city appears and disappears in soft intervals, like something half remembered from a dream or glimpsed in the reflection of a pool. Your breathing slows without you noticing, falling into the rhythm of the lake, the pulse of the water, the gentle pattern of the day's awakening. Each breath draws in the sweetness of lake air, laced with the scent of lilies, cacao flowers, and damp earth, and each exhale carries away anything heavy, leaving only the calm. The sun rises higher still, and the water before you becomes a sheet of molten gold, rippling softly under the touch of your paddle. Light dances across its surface, flickering like stardust falling into the lake and dissolving into pure light. Around you, the chinampas float like green islands in a dream, their morning caretakers working with slow, measured grace, their bare feet pressing into the moist soil, their hands tending the crops with the same quiet patience their parents and grandparents practiced. From the corner of your eye, you see a monarch butterfly drift toward you, its orange and black wings patterned with such precision they resemble stained glass. It lands lightly on the edge of your canoe, as if drawn here by the same peace that holds you in place. For a long moment, it stays perfectly still, its tiny legs gripping the wood, its wings folding and unfolding in slow rhythm. Then, without a sound, it lifts into the air and floats away, vanishing into the warm light like a small prayer carried on the wind. The water rocks your canoe in its steady, timeless cradle. the movement so natural and so gentle that your eyelids begin to feel pleasantly heavy. The warmth of the sun spreads over your face, down your shoulders, into your hands, until you are wrapped in a cocoon of comfort. From far across the lake, a soft peal of bronze temple bells begins to sound, the notes rising and falling like liquid music that carries itself over the water without disturbing its calm. The sound folds into the rhythm of the morning, not breaking the stillness, but deepening it, adding a layer of harmony to the moment. It feels as if the lake itself is singing, as if the world is telling you that here, in this place, all is as it should be. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the light, the warmth, the sound, and the water carry you. And as you rest in that feeling, remember that you can return here at any time to these quiet waters, to this sacred calm, simply by closing your eyes again. If you wish to keep exploring these peaceful journeys, to drift further into the heart of this ancient world, you can gently press the like button and, without hurry, subscribe to this channel so that whenever you need this calm, it will be waiting for you, ready to welcome you back to the gentle waters of Tenochtitlan. For now, there is nothing to do but drift, breathe, and let yourself sink deeper into peace. Your canoe drifts onward, the water carrying you on currents so soft they seem more like whispers than movement, as if you were being guided not by wind or tide, but by the slow, sleeping breath of ancient gods. The motion is steady and patient, a cradle that rocks you deeper and deeper into a state of absolute serenity. All around you, water lilies bow and nod in the mild morning breeze, their white petals shifting like the hems of 1,000 small robes, while tall reeds lean toward one another, sharing quiet secrets in a language they have spoken for centuries. The sacred lake itself seems alive in its care for you, holding your canoe gently, steadily, with the same tenderness that a mother uses to cradle her sleeping child. Your breathing falls into a slower rhythm without effort, each inhale expanding your chest with clean, sweet air, each exhale carrying away the last fragments of thought and weight from the waking world. The sound of the water lapping against the sides of your canoe becomes your metronome, steady and soft, a pulse that draws you further inward. With each breath, you feel yourself sink deeper into peace, deeper into calm, as though the lake is not only beneath you but inside you, filling your whole being with its sacred stillness. The morning sun climbs higher into the sky, laying a warm golden light over everything it touches. The surface of the water glows as if turned to molten metal. The reed walls of the chinampas shimmer faintly, and the paddle in your hand gleams with a quiet warmth. You feel yourself drifting, not just forward across the water, but inward into a deeper layer of calm, into a stillness so complete that even your thoughts move like slow, soft clouds. The rocking of the canoe becomes an extension of your own breath, and your eyelids begin to grow heavier with each sway. The water speaks in its own ancient tongue, a murmuring of secrets it has carried for centuries, while the breeze hums an eternal lullaby that belongs to this place alone. The two voices, lake and air, blend into a song that your heart recognizes without knowing why, and before long you find yourself surrendering to it completely. You sink into the safety of this sacred place, feeling the warmth of the light on your face and the embrace of the lake beneath you, letting yourself rest, letting yourself trust, letting yourself drift into deep, restorative sleep. The sacred waters of Lake Texcoco hold you gently, lovingly, as you float between the worlds of waking and dreaming, embraced by the peace of a blessed dawn. Chapter 2: The Garden of Floating Dreams *. Somewhere between sleeping and waking, you feel your canoe gliding onward, carried effortlessly deeper into the floating gardens, where reality and dream mingle like mist dissolving into the lake. Here, the boundary between the real and the imagined fades until they are one, and you move forward without any effort at all, your canoe sliding on the surface as though guided by invisible hands. The chinampas rise on either side of you like green corridors, miraculous islands hovering between water and sky, their edges fringed with reeds and wildflowers, their hearts filled with the fertile soil that has nourished life for generations. The motion is seamless, as though you are floating not on water but on a current of pure air. It is the kind of movement that carries no urgency, no noise, only the deep rhythmic comfort of being held. You imagine the goddess Sakiketzel herself cradling you in her arms, rocking you forward through her gardens, her touch as light as petals drifting on a breeze. The gardens breathe all around you. Tall stalks of maize sway slowly, their broa, green leaves rustling like soft prayers whispered toward the sky. The corn rises from the rich black earth made from lake mud, decomposed reeds, and the gifts of countless seasons. A soil so alive with nutrients it feels almost magical, blessed by the gods of growth and plenty. You pass near a chinampa where an elderly farmer moves among his plants with deliberate gentleness. His skin is the warm bronze of a lifetime beneath the sun. His hands calloused yet tender as he inspects each stalk and leaf. There is reverence in every movement, a respect for the cycle of planting, tending, and harvesting that has been part of his life for longer than you can imagine. He lifts his head and meets your eyes, and though no words pass between you, his smile conveys a welcome, a blessing, and the quiet acknowledgement that you, too, belong to this sacred rhythm. His presence is a gift, another thread woven into the tapestry of calm surrounding you. Your canoe glides onward, and the chinampas change, opening into groves of cacao trees, their trunks dark and smooth, their leaves broad, glossy, and rich in color. Heavy pods hang from the branches, some green, others yellow, and some deep red, their colors forming a living palette that pleases the eye and rests the spirit. The air is thicker here, warmed and perfumed by the scent of cacao flowers, tiny pink and white blossoms glowing softly in the dappled sunlight. Their fragrance is gentle yet intoxicating, an aroma that fills your lungs with every slow, deep breath, settling into you like a quiet joy. It is not overwhelming, but soothing, like the faint sweetness that lingers in a memory you never want to leave. As you breathe it in, your shoulders drop, your heartbeat slows, and your mind drifts into a quiet so deep it feels bottomless. The world narrows to the gentle rocking beneath you, the steady rhythm of your breath, the occasional call of a distant bird. The lake, the gardens, the air itself seem to hold you in place, not as a prisoner, but as a guest who has been invited to stay as long as you wish. And so you do, letting your canoe drift further into the garden of floating dreams, carried on the currents of a peace older than the city, older than memory, older than time. Beneath the broad, sheltering arms of the cacao trees, where their great trunks rise like ancient pillars toward a canopy of living green, you notice something extraordinary. From the rough bark, slender vanilla vines climb upward in slow, deliberate spirals, their roots drinking deeply from the rich, black earth of the chinampa, a soil so fertile it seems almost alive beneath your gaze. Here and there, delicate orchid-like blossoms unfold, petals pale as dawn mist, each flower a brief miracle, destined to bloom for only a single day before yielding to the steady growth of the pods. Those pods, long, slender, and green hang like fingers of living jade. When the breeze passes gently through the grove, they sway in unison, releasing a fragrance so subtle yet so pure that it seems to seep into your very bones. It is a sweetness not of sugar but of memory, of hearth fires on cool nights, of safe places and quiet laughter. And with each breath you take, tension loosens, thoughts slow, your heart softens into stillness. Your canoe glides forward, and you pass under low-hanging branches that brush the water's surface with their leaves, leaving trails like strokes of green ink. The deeper you drift, the more you begin to see the intricate hidden heart of the Chinampas, the genius of their creation. Long poles, driven deep into the lake bed, stand like guardians, anchoring each floating garden against the pull of wind and current. Between them, lattices of reeds and woven branches knit the edges together, their interlacing strong yet yielding, just as water itself is. But the true marvel is the soil, layer upon layer of lake sediment, rotted vegetation, and human care, built up lovingly through generations until it forms a bed so rich that anything planted here thrives as though the earth remembers every seed ever sown upon it. Now you drift into the fields of amaranth, the sacred grain, the life-giver of your people. The stalks stand tall and straight, each one a living column crowned with a plume of blossoms. Their leaves are deep green, shot through with veins of crimson and violet, so that every plant seems painted by an unseen artist. Above, the flowers rise in clusters of impossibly fine grains, so many and so small they seem almost to shimmer in the air. Burgundy gold, deep purple. Their colors blaze like frozen fire, like the last moments of a sunset captured and held forever in stillness. The wind sighs and the amaranth moves, not as individual plants, but as a single living body, a tide of color flowing from one end of the Chinampa to the other. It is as though the land itself is breathing, inhaling and exhaling waves of light. Watching it, your mind empties of every thought but one: peace. Between these tall, swaying stalks, you glimpse treasures of another kind. Tomato plants heavy with fruit, their red skins catching the morning light like polished rubies. Some are round and perfect, others were the charming irregularities of nature, but all are alive with flavor waiting to be released. Nearby, chili plants sway under the weight of their fiery offerings. The broad green shoulders of mild poblanos, the lantern-like yellow cascabels, the tiny scarlet beads of the fierce tepin, the fire of the desert captured in a single bite. Each variety is tended with love and reverence, part of the ancient covenant between humans and the plants that have sustained them since time beyond memory. Your canoe slides deeper into the watery labyrinth, following narrow channels that curve and meander like a dream's logic. No beginning, no end, only the journey. The water is so still here that it becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting every branch, every stalk, every leaf with such clarity that the line between the world above and the world below vanishes entirely. You are suspended between two gardens, one one reflected, floating through a corridor of infinite green. Ahead, an archway of morning glory vines stretches over the channel. Their trumpet-shaped flowers open wide to greet the sun. Deep blues melt into purples, purples into whites, each blossom like a drop of sky caught and held among the leaves. As you glide beneath, the petals seem to lean toward you, brushing you with their soft fragrance. And for a moment it feels as if you are passing through a gate of blessing, protected, welcomed, embraced by the living world. Then, on a chinampa to your left, you see them, women moving slowly and deliberately among beds of medicinal plants. Their garments are simple, but their presence is luminous, and you recognize them at once as Karandras, healers, guardians of the old ways. Their hands move with quiet precision, touching each plant with both skill and affection, as though every leaf were a child in their care. The names of the herbs they tend are themselves poems. Tepizin, with its strong branches that shield and cleanse. Toloatzin, gentle yet potent. Chicolote, whose golden blooms hide the medicine of dreams. One of the women looks up, and her gaze meets yours across the water. Her face is lined not with age alone, but with the countless hours she has given in service to others. In her eyes, there is neither judgment nor expectation, only a serene kindness that seems to see you as you truly are. Slowly, she raises her hand, palm open, and you feel the blessing cross the distance like a warm wind, surrounding you, settling over you like a mantle of safety. Here, the healing garden glows as if lit from within. Passion fruit vines coil and climb, each flower a galaxy of white filaments around a dark heart. Hierba buena releases its cooling fragrance with the slightest touch, a green breath that clears the mind. Rue stands close by, its small yellow blossoms understated but resolute, guarding the space with its bitter strength. Every plant here holds a purpose, a story, a wisdom older than speech, each one an ally in the delicate, unending work of keeping the body whole and the spirit in balance. You drift past in silence, but the garden stays with you, settling into your memory like a stone sinking to the bottom of still water, resting there, waiting until the day you return. Your canoe continues to drift, unhurried, as if the water itself has decided to carry you deeper into its heart. The air grows thick with the mingled fragrance of earth and flowers, a perfume crafted not by human hands but by the slow, deliberate work of the seasons. Now you pass into a section where flowers grow wild and free, as if they've chosen this place to celebrate their own existence without restraint. Marigolds rise in brilliant clusters, blazing orange and molten gold, petals unfolding like miniature suns, their centers rich and textured, alive with the hum of bees moving from bloom to bloom. Their scent is pungent, earthy, almost spicy, an aroma that roots you firmly in the present moment, yet somehow stretches backward into memory, into tradition. These are not just flowers. They are sempoalxicoidal, sacred marigolds of the Day of the Dead, blossoms that have for centuries marked the paths between the world of the living and the land of ancestors. They are said to guide spirits home, their color like captured firelight, their fragrance a beacon in the night. Here, they seem to form living altars on the edges of the water, their reflection doubling their presence, making it feel as though you pass between two realms, the upper and the mirrored, both equally alive. Interwoven with the marigolds, as though sharing the same breath, grow delicate cosmos flowers. Their petals, soft pinks, creamy whites, and purples so pale they seem dusted with moonlight, surround golden centers that radiate quiet warmth. Each bloom is perfectly symmetrical, so precise it feels as though it might have been painted by the hand of a divine artisan. They sway gently in the lake breeze, not rushed, not hurried, but moving in the slow, hypnotic rhythm of a lullaby you can almost hear but not quite hum. The channel begins to widen, the walls of green and gold giving way to open space, and you find yourself entering a lagoon embraced on all sides by floating gardens. The water here is perfectly still, not merely calm, but holding a stillness so deep that the sky is reflected with such clarity it's as though you are gliding through air. Clouds drift below you as much as above. The illusion is so complete that for a moment you feel suspended between two skies. The silence in this lagoon is profound. It is not the emptiness of absence, but the fullness of a soundless presence, a living quiet that carries weight and meaning. Only the softest sounds break it. The faint lap of water against the canoe's hull, the far-off cry of a heron, the sigh of wind weaving through the leaves of unseen trees. And then, at the very heart of the lagoon, you see it, the Awi-Wadi, a massive cypress tree, rising from the water like a pillar that holds the sky aloft. Its roots dive deep into the unseen earth below the lake, anchoring it through centuries of change. The trunk is immense, its bark furrowed like the face of an elder whose every line tells a story. The branches stretch wide, some brushing the water, others arching toward the heavens as if bridging the human and the divine. You guide your canoe toward this ancient guardian. The closer you draw, the more you feel it. Not just see it, but feel it. A presence that radiates peace, a kind of wordless welcome. This tree has stood here through lifetimes upon lifetimes, witnessing the births and passings of countless generations. It has sheltered birds in its branches, shaded fishermen in its roots, and silently blessed all who have crossed its waters. Beneath the cypress, the water changes. It is darker here, not from fear or shadow, but from depth, an unfathomable green-black that suggests mystery rather than danger. Shafts of sunlight break through the canopy, creating columns of gold that pierce the water, vanishing in to the depths as though connecting the heart of the lake to the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Your canoe drifts without your guidance now, carried in slow circles within this sacred space. Every breath you take seems to synchronize with the rhythm of the water, the subtle rustle of cypress leaves above. The sound is like whispered prayers, like blessings spoken in a language older than human memory. They slip into you without effort, as if you've always known them but had simply forgotten until now. The marigolds at the lagoon's edge bow gently in the breeze, their heads dipping as though in reverence to the cypress. The cosmos flowers sway, their slim stems bending but never breaking. And here, in the protective shadow of the Awi-Wadi, you feel something shift inside. A loosening, a release, as though all the tight, hidden knots in your mind have quietly unraveled. Your eyelids grow heavy, not from fatigue but from surrender. Surrender to the softness that enfolds you. The canoe rocks in a rhythm as old as the tides. The water laps in gentle sighs. The leaves above trade secrets with the wind. And in this symphony of serenity, you feel yourself being drawn not downward, not away, but inward, into a deeper state of peace than you have ever known. The floating gardens hold you in their embrace, each plant, each blossom, each ripple in the water adding its own note to the music of this place. Here there is no hurry, no need, no question of belonging. Here you are part of the eternal cycle, the blooming and the withering, the stillness and the movement, the breath in and the breath out. And as you drift, the Awiwadi stands above. The marigolds glow like lanterns, and the cosmos scatter their light like stars fallen to earth. You close your eyes not to leave the scene, but to let it fill you entirely, so that when you open them again, whether it be in this world or the next, you will carry this sanctuary within you. You are home. Asterisk chapter 3, the Temple of Gentle Winds. Sacred spaces and healing silence asterisk. You sleep deeper now, deeper than before, carried effortlessly by invisible currents of peace toward the sacred heart of Tenochtitlan. The air is cool and fragrant, touched with hints of copal incense and blooming water lilies, as if the very city has been preparing for your arrival since time began. Beyond the gardens, the skyline of the ancient capital rises before you, not in sharp angles or intimidating walls, but in a harmony of stone, water, and sky. Great pyramids emerge from the mist like mountains of prayer, their forms softened by the golden light of dawn. The city seems to breathe with you, each inhalation filling the canals with shimmering light, each exhalation carrying whispers of wisdom down the narrow waterways. Your canoe glides forward without effort. You are moving toward the ceremonial center, the sacred heart where heaven and earth meet. Channels here are not just waterways. They are veins of the city's spirit, carrying the lifeblood of healing and blessing. Their banks are lined with walls of carved volcanic stone, worn smooth over centuries by water's embrace. Along these walls, ancient sculptors have left their messages. Serpents coiled in eternal protection, eagles with wings outstretched toward the sun, flowers carved in perfect symmetry, and spirals representing the unending cycles of life. You pass murals still vibrant after centuries, painted with the mineral colors of earth itself. Deep ochre, turquoise, jade green, and cinnabar red. They tell stories of creation, the birth of the fifth sun, the shaping of mountains, the gathering of the first maize. They speak of balance, of the eternal dance between earth and sky, between human and divine. And as you gaze upon them, the painted figures seem to move ever so slightly, as if they still live, still tell, still guide. The water beneath your canoe changes here. It is clearer, brighter, as though infused with liquid sunlight. It has been blessed by countless ceremonies, countless prayers, countless hands that poured offerings of flowers and cacao and fragrant copal upon its surface. It glows with an inner radiance, a pulse you can feel in your fingertips, in your breath, in the steady beating of your heart. This is water that remembers every blessing ever spoken over it. Water that carries songs older than language. Water that is both mirror and messenger. And there, rising before you, is the great pyramid, the Templo Mayor. But this is not the pyramid you've seen in history books or heard about in tales of conquest. This is the pyramid of your dreams, the pyramid of peace. Here there is no echo of fear or sacrifice, only the music of wind in its upper terraces, only the warmth of sun on stone, only the profound silence of harmony that needs no words. The stones are not gray but gold, sun-kissed and rain-washed until they radiate a gentle warmth of their own. Every block was placed with care, with prayer, with the understanding that it was not just architecture but a living connection between earth and the sky above. These stones hold memory. These stones hold the quiet laughter of children, the whispered gratitude of healers, the footsteps of those who climbed only to seek balance, not power. Your canoe drifts into a small harbor shaped from black volcanic rock. Even here, the stone feels welcoming, not severe, as though it has been waiting to cradle your arrival. The surface is polished smooth by generations of tides, by centuries of pilgrims who stepped ashore in reverence. You step from the canoe. The stone is warm beneath your bare feet, as if it has stored the sun's blessing just for you. Ahead, a staircase rises toward the temple, but these are not the steep, forbidding steps of conquest. These steps are wide and shallow, designed not to intimidate but to invite. They are meant for contemplation. They encourage you to pause at each level, to look back at the shimmering water, to notice the drift of clouds across the sky, to feel the breath of the wind against your cheek. With each step, you feel lighter. You are not climbing upward so much as you are being lifted by the air, by the earth, by the blessings embedded in every stone. The sound of the city fades until all you hear is the gentle rustle of leaves and the soft, flute-like tones of the wind itself playing through the temple's open corridors. Halfway up, you pause. The view is a tapestry. Canals like ribbons of light, gardens like green jewels floating on their mirrored surfaces, distant mountains standing watch like old gods. From here, the air tastes different. It is purer, touched with the cool freshness of high places and the faint perfume of burning copal drifting from an unseen altar. At the top, you enter the Temple of Gentle Winds. It is open to the sky, yet sheltered in ways you cannot quite understand. Columns carved with spirals rise on either side, their forms catching the breeze so that each gust sings softly. A music too delicate for the world below, meant only for those who have made this ascent. The floor is cool stone, but scattered with petals of white magnolia and pink bougainvillea, so that each step is cushioned in color. Here there are no idols, no offerings of blood, only water in shallow basins, reflecting the endless blue of the heavens above. Only flowers, gathered fresh each morning. Only the sound of wind weaving itself into song. It is a space for healing, for listening, for remembering the quiet truths that live beneath all noise. You stand at the center and close your eyes. The wind moves around you, gentle, circling, like hands that bless, like arms that embrace. In its voice you hear languages older than words, blessings spoken not in syllables but in pure sensation. The warmth of sunlight, the coolness of shade, the scent of flowers, the taste of rain. Time loosens its hold. Minutes become hours. Hours become something else entirely. And when you finally open your eyes, you realize the Temple of Gentle Winds is not only a place in the world. It is a place inside you. You will carry it with you always. You continue your ascent, each step an act of reverence. The warm stone beneath your bare feet seems alive, as if the temple itself recognizes your presence and welcomes you upward. The air is still, yet not stagnant. It carries a softness, a subtle fragrance of earth after rain, as though the walls exhale the breath of centuries. On either side of the stairway, the murals grow more intricate, more luminous. What at first appeared to be simple depictions of daily life now reveals layers of meaning. The rain falling upon the corn is painted with strokes so delicate, you can almost hear the patter of each drop. The butterflies are not random. Their wings hold glyphs telling of transformation, resilience, and the cycles of time. The children playing among the flowers seem to be caught mid-laughter, their joy eternal, preserved in pigments that still gleam after hundreds of years. The colors feel impossibly vivid. The deep blues shimmer like the surface of the lake at dawn, holding both mystery and calm. The greens are lush and breathing, pulled from the heart of the jungle and infused with the vitality of growing things. Gold flecks catch the sunlight and scatter it like blessings across the stone walls. Reds carry the warmth of ripe fruit, of fire at twilight, of blood in its sacred life-giving form, not for violence, but for connection. Every hue carries a heartbeat, a purpose, a prayer. You reach the first wide landing. Here, the air changes again, warmer, richer, infused with the living scent of herbs. Small gardens unfold in symmetrical patterns, each bed edged with volcanic rock. Here grows episode * for cleansing, copal resin trees for incense, lemon verbena for soothing the restless heart. Purple basil sways lightly in the breeze, its leaves releasing a peppery sweetness when touched. There are flowers here too, not for decoration alone, but for medicine. Calendula for wounds, yarrow for fevers, passion flower for calming troubled dreams. At the center of this landing, a gentle priest tends the garden. His robe is woven of soft cotton dyed with indigo and marigold. The colors faded but still warm. His face is lined, not from worry, but from years of smiling under the sun. His eyes, deep and steady, carry the patience of someone who understands the rhythm of life and has never hurried it. When he sees you, his smile arrives like the slow unfolding of dawn. Without a word, he dips a clay cup into a pot of steaming herbal infusion and offers it to you. The rising steam curls upward like threads of incense, carrying a fragrance both fresh and ancient. You sip, and the taste is a gentle weave of lemon verbena, passion flower, and honey drawn from bees who feast only on the temple's blossoms. The warmth moves through you in slow waves, as though it is not liquid at all but sunlight in a form the body can drink. The priest speaks quietly, his voice flowing over you like the sound of a shallow stream over smooth stones. He tells you of the temple above, its healing chambers, its wind-filled courtyards, its sanctuaries where the weary find rest and the grieving find solace. His words have a rhythm, and before you realize it, your breathing has matched it, slow and deep, as though you have been placed in a trance not by command but by kindness. You climb again, the steps now passing through a series of open archways. Behind each arch, you glimpse lives in the midst of healing. In one chamber, a coriander massages tired limbs with fragrant oil, the scent of copal mingling with warm vanilla. In another, a midwife rocks a newborn while singing a lullaby so soft it could be mistaken for the rustling of leaves. Elder storytellers sit in circles with children, their hands tracing shapes in the air as their voices weave tea. Apes tries of memory and myth. Further on, steam drifts lazily from a hall where mineral springs rise from deep within the earth. Pilgrims sit in these pools, their faces serene, the water glinting gold in the filtered light. The springs whisper their own language, a bubbling, eternal murmur that feels as though it is speaking directly to the bones. You pass slowly, reluctant to leave the sound behind. The staircase bends, and you arrive at another platform open to the sun. Here the gardens change, no longer the cultivated herbs of the lower terraces, but flowering plants that thrive in their own wild beauty. Datura blossoms, pale and luminous, sway in a hush of breeze. Moonflowers coil upward along carved stone columns, their buds tightly closed, dreaming of nightfall when they will release their silver light and intoxicating perfume. For a clocks scatter pink and gold petals across the ground like offerings to the wind. At the platform's center is a shrine to Zakiketzel, goddess of flowers, of beauty, of all gentle pleasures. The shrine is carved from a single block of green jade, shaped like a flower forever frozen in bloom. Around it are offerings, woven garlands, bowls of honey, tiny clay figures holding miniature bouquets. The air here is saturated with scent: jasmine, tuberose, marigold, each fragrance blending into something so pure it feels like breathing the essence of joy. You linger, the stillness here wrapping around you like a soft shawl. Above, the temple's final terraces rise, the carvings now more elaborate. Gods of rain pouring gentle showers, spirits of corn smiling upon ripened fields, flower maidens scattering petals across eternal gardens. Each image reminds you, this is not a place built for conquest, but for balance, for harmony, for the continual weaving of life into beauty. The sound of artificial rain greets you as you climb the next set of steps. It falls from carved spouts shaped like open-mouthed serpents, striking the stone in soft rhythms that match the beat of your heart. The rain pools in shallow basins, where water lilies float, their roots winding deep into the ancient stone. The droplets catch the sunlight and scatter it into thousands of tiny rainbows, fleeting but endless in their repetition. You move slowly now, not from weariness, but because you want each step to last. Each breath you take feels like it belongs not only to you, but to the air, to the stone, to the history that lives in the very walls. You are no longer climbing a temple. You are ascending into a living prayer, one that began centuries ago and will continue long after you leave. You continue your ascent through the ancient pyramid, feeling no weariness but a growing lightness, as if invisible hands, gentle and loving, lift you step by step. Each stone beneath your feet hums softly, carrying the echoes of countless prayers whispered over centuries. The air here feels sacred, thick with the breath of healing, woven from the hopes and dreams of pilgrims who came before you seeking peace, restoration, and renewal. As you climb higher, the world around you shifts subtly, becoming softer, more vibrant, more alive in a way that transcends ordinary perception. The walls beside you are adorned with murals that now seem to glow from within, each brushstroke a whisper of kindness, each color a balm to the weary soul. You see scenes of rain nurturing crops, of butterflies lifting spirits, of children laughing in gardens filled with blooms and sunlight, and of healers tending the sick with loving hands. These images are not mere decorations, but prayers made visible, weaving a sacred tapestry of life's gentlest and most beautiful moments. The pigments are crafted from sacred earth, crushed minerals, and the petals of rare flowers. The deep blues shimmer like the depths of the sacred lake. The lush greens pulse with the breath of jungle leaves. The warm reds hold the fire of the setting sun, and the golden yellows shine like honey spilled at the feet of the gods. Each color sings with a quiet power, inviting your heart to soften, your mind to rest. When you reach a broad landing, the air changes once again, now fragrant with the living scent of temple gardens. Here grow beds of medicinal herbs carefully tended by silent priests and priestesses, their hands skilled and steady. You smell the crispness of lemon verbena, the sweet, calming notes of passion flower, the smoky warmth of copal resin, and the earthy sharpness of sage. These plants are not just decoration. They are living medicine, sent from the earth to soothe body and spirit alike. An elderly priest greets you with a smile as warm as the morning sun, his eyes reflecting the gentle patience of decades spent caring for both plants and pilgrims. He offers you a cup of steaming herbal tea, its aroma curling around you like an embrace. The liquid is smooth and golden, infused with the blessings of the gods and the earth. The calming powers of lemon verbena, the restful whispers of passion flower, and the sweetness of honey harvested from bees that feast solely on temple blossoms. You sip slowly, feeling the warmth spread through you like sunlight flowing through veins of water, dissolving tension and inviting tranquility. The priest's voice, soft and flowing like a gentle stream, tells you stories of the healing chambers above, the sacred spaces where pain is eased, where spirits mend, where the fragile threads of life are carefully woven back together. You rise again and continue your climb, passing through archways that reveal glimpses of these healing sanctuaries. In one chamber, you see curanderos gently massaging tired muscles with oils scented with vanilla and copal. Their hands move with the slow precision of a prayer, coaxing ease into every fiber of the body. In another, midwives softly sing lullabies, their voices carrying the age-old songs of comfort and hope to mothers cradling newborns close to their hearts. Further still, elders sit in quiet circles, weaving tales of courage, wisdom, and renewal, stories that wrap around the soul like a warm blanket. Steaming pools of mineral-rich water bubble gently in a chamber nearby. Pilgrims immerse themselves here, surrendering to the warm embrace of healing waters infused with sacred salts and herbs known to soothe both flesh and spirit. The sound of bubbling water blends with distant chants and the soft cooing of doves nesting. In the temple walls, creating a symphony of serenity that follows you as you ascend. Your steps bring you to an open platform, bathed in sunlight and surrounded by gardens where night-blooming flowers prepare to unfurl. The datura plants sway gently, their pale blossoms shimmering like lanterns waiting for dusk. Moonflowers, still tightly closed against the daylight, promise to release their intoxicating fragrance once the stars appear. Clusters of 4 o'clock flowers tilt their pink and yellow faces toward the sun, turning as the day slowly moves across the sky. In the heart of this sacred garden stands a shrine devoted to Zakiketzel, the goddess of flowers, love, and all things gentle and beautiful. The shrine is carved from gleaming jade, shaped like a blossoming flower forever caught in the moment of perfect bloom. Surrounding it are offerings of fresh garlands, bowls of honey, and delicate clay figurines holding miniature bouquets. The air here is fragrant with jasmine, tuberose, and marigold. Their combined scent a perfume of pure peace that fills your lungs and quiets your mind. You pause, closing your eyes to drink in this moment, allowing the fragrance and the light to fill you completely. The colors around you seem brighter, the beauty so perfect it feels more like a dream than waking life. The temple continues to rise above you, its stones now carved with images of renewal and growth. Corn gods smile kindly, rain gods pour gentle showers, and flower goddesses dance eternally, their steps light and harmonious. Soft rain falls from carved serpent spouts, creating a delicate rhythm that matches your heartbeat and breath. Water pools and basins where lilies float peacefully, their roots twisting into ancient stone as droplets scatter tiny rainbows around you. Each step now feels like a sacred dance, a slow ascent into a higher state of being. At last, you reach the summit, an open circular garden surrounded by pools of still water and shaded by ancient cypress and ceiba trees, their branches reaching skyward in silent prayer. In the center stands a singular tree unlike any you have ever seen. Its trunk shimmers with silver light, its leaves glint like burnished gold, and its flowers bloom in every hue of sunset. Fiery reds, soft pinks, deep purples, and glowing oranges. The air around it hums softly, carrying the essence of tranquility itself. Beneath this tree lies a pool of water so still and clear it seems like polished obsidian, a perfect mirror reflecting not just your outward face, but the very spirit within, the part of you that knows peace beyond all understanding, that remembers the eternal calm you were born with. You kneel beside the pool and gaze deeply into its depths, feeling your reflection dissolve into something more profound, your essence radiant, whole, and bathed in the light of everlasting peace. The tree whispers to you with a voice like silk and honey, words that flow around you like a healing balm, washing away all worry, all restlessness, all the need to be anywhere but exactly here. Your breath slows, deepens, merging with the pulse of the tree, the heartbeat of the water, and the eternal rhythm of harmony itself. You are no longer separate or alone, but part of a great cosmic song, a dance of love, healing, and gentle winds that weave through all existence. Your eyelids grow heavy with the sweetest drowsiness, the sacred sleepiness that calls you softly deeper and deeper into the embrace of this temple, the temple of gentle winds. The trees' lullabies hum in your ears. The still water reflects your peaceful soul, and the sacred breezes carry you lovingly into the deepest, most restful, most healing sleep you have ever known. Here, cradled by the eternal tranquility of this blessed sanctuary, you surrender completely. Peace enfolds you like a tender shawl. Love surrounds you like the warmest embrace, and healing flows through you, endless and pure, as you drift peacefully into dreams woven from the very fabric of the sacred temple. Chapter 4: The Market of Sweet Dreams, Wandering Through Wonder. As you float gently downward from the Temple of Gentle Winds, your canoe carried by the soft currents of peace, you begin your journey toward the great market of Tlatelolco. But this is no ordinary marketplace. This is the market of sweet dreams, a place where only beauty is exchanged, where joy flows freely, and every transaction is a blessing of healing and love. Here, time slows, and space softens into a realm woven from the fabric of dreams themselves. Weightless as a drifting cloud, you glide along streets paved with smooth obsidian stones, so polished they perfectly reflect the sky above. A glassy canvas of soft blues and whispering whites. The houses lining the avenues are made from sun-baked adobe, glowing warmly in hues of honey and earthen gold. Their walls are alive with murals depicting lush gardens, vibrant birds mid-flight, and children chasing each other amid blossoms. Vines cascade over rooftops, spilling bright cascades of bougainvillea, hibiscus, jasmine, and morning glories, all in eternal bloom, coloring the world with vivid, never-fading life. The air is rich with a symphony of fragrances, none overwhelming or sharp, but gently layered like a delicate melody woven from the sweetest lullabies. At every corner, tiny shrines burn the resinous smoke of copal incense, its piney, uplifting aroma blending seamlessly with the scent of freshly baked maize bread, ripe fruit, and crushed herbs still warm from the sun. This fragrant harmony creates a veil of enchantment that settles softly on the marketplace, inviting you to wander slowly, deeply, with a heart open to wonder. As you enter the vast market square, it stretches endlessly in every direction. An ocean of color and light that seems to shimmer and breathe with its own gentle rhythm. Yet, despite its expanse, there is no chaos here. No hurried voices call out sharply. No frantic haggling breaks the calm. Instead, vendors speak in hushed whispers, their voices soft as a breeze through leaves. Customers move like dancers in a slow, flowing ritual. Children's laughter bubbles through the air like tinkling wind chimes, delicate and pure. Above all, a pervasive atmosphere of dreamy tranquility envelopes everything like a warm, protective cloak. The market stalls themselves are masterpieces, crafted from slender bamboo poles and draped with cotton cloth dyed in colors that seem to glow softly from within. Each canopy creates a pool of gentle shade, a sanctuary of muted light where treasures of exquisite beauty wait patiently to be discovered, each object a token of joy, a vessel of peace meant to travel from one heart to another. You drift toward a flower seller's stall, a radiant cascade of blossoms that seem far too perfect for the waking world, yet paradoxically more real than reality itself. White gardenias with waxy, glowing petals release their intoxicating scent. Delicate pink roses hold captive the soft luminescence of moonlight. Golden sunflowers turn their faces upward with the innocence and warmth of laughing children. The flowers are arranged with an artist's precision and a poet's soul, each bouquet a silent hymn to beauty and hope. The flower seller herself is timeless, her skin etched like weathered wood, yet soft as velvet. Her eyes hold the quiet wisdom of passing seasons, the patient kindness of rain falling gently on thirsty earth. She smiles as you approach, a smile like the first light of dawn reflected over still water, and offers you a single flower, a lotus blossom. This delicate flower should not bloom in this mountain city, but here in the realm of dreams, beauty knows no boundaries. The lotus is exquisite, its petals white, softly edged with blush pink, its golden heart shining like a miniature sun. As you accept this sacred gift, a wave of peace flows from its soft surface, veiling through your hands, winding its way into your arms and settling deep in your heart. It carries the serenity of still waters, the promise of fresh beginnings, and the gentle, patient power of things that grow in their own time, in perfect harmony with the rhythms of life. Guided by this blessing, you drift deeper into the market's labyrinth, passing stalls adorned with textiles that shimmer with the brilliance of captured rainbows. Cotton so fine it seems spun from clouds themselves, silks that flow like molten water, and feathers from quetzal birds that glint with an inner light and a magic all their own. These fabrics are not merely cloth. They breathe softly with their own rhythms, whispering stories of the hands that wove them, the hearts that blessed them, and the dreams that shaped them into living art. You come upon a weaver seated at her loom, her fingers moving with the grace and precision of dancers performing an ancient ritual. She weaves sacred geometries into her patterns, symbols of balance, harmony, and the unseen threads that connect all life. Her threads are spun from cotton kissed by morning dew and dyed with pigments drawn from flower petals, tree bark, roots, and clouds tinged by dawn and dusk. Each square of cloth she creates is a universe, a meditation made visible in color and form. She looks up from her work, eyes sparkling like distant stars, and offers you a small swatch, a square of fabric imbued with all the colors of the sunset sky, all the fluid patterns of wind gliding across water, all the subtle movements of peace itself made tangible. The cloth is soft as butterfly wings, warm as sunlight on your skin, and when you touch it, you feel wrapped in an embrace of love and protection, as if the very essence of kindness has been woven into every thread. As you continue your gentle journey, the market's aromas shift to the scent of nourishment, not only for the body but for the soul. Vendors offer golden honey, thick and shimmering like liquid sunlight captured in jars. Cacao beans roasted and ground with fragrant vanilla and fragrant cinnamon. Fruits bursting with flavors that seem to distill the very essence of captured rainbows. Bread warm and comforting, redolent of mother's kitchen and childhood mornings, wrapped in a cocoon of safety and belonging. One kindly vendor offers you a cup of sacred chocolate, prepared exactly as the gods intended. It is warm and fragrant, sweetened gently with honey, spiced lightly with vanilla and a whisper of chili. Not enough to burn, but just enough to awaken the senses, to kindle a soothing warmth in your body and spirit. As you sip this divine elixir, you taste not only the chocolate but a deep happiness, a contentment rooted in the simple, perfect pleasures of life lovingly prepared. Near the heart of the market, you discover a special enclave dedicated to music and sound, the gentle arts that soothe the ear and calm the restless spirit. Here, artisans create instruments fashioned from the earth's gifts. Flutes carved from sacred bamboo that sings with the voice of the forest. Drums crafted from gourds blessed by summer rain. rattles filled with seeds that mimic the sound of gentle rainfall when shaken. A musician sits cross-legged beside his collection, playing a flute made from clay, its notes pure and crystalline as mountain water. Each breath he takes sends ripples of melody into the air, soft, flowing, and serene, inviting your heart to open, your mind to soften, and your spirit to rest. The music carries stories older than time, lullabies of peace that drift across the marketplace like the warm caress of a summer breeze. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the melodies wash over you, allowing each note to seep into every corner of your being. You feel yourself melting into the soundscape, becoming part of the song itself, a note in the eternal chorus of beauty and calm. The music flows through you like a gentle river, cleansing and renewing, guiding you deeper into the market's embrace, into the very heart of sweet dreams. As you drift on, you notice the faces of those around you, vendors and buyers alike radiating warmth and kindness. Smiles are exchanged without words. Hands touch briefly in greeting or gratitude, and every interaction feels infused with a quiet blessing. The market pulses with the life of shared peace, of gentle generosity, of the simple joy of connection. Time itself seems to slow and bend, becoming fluid and soft. The market stretches endlessly, a boundless realm of wonder and delight where every step brings new treasures to the eye, new joys to the heart, new moments of perfect calm. You feel safe here, embraced by the loving spirit of the market, carried gently on currents of sweet dreams that promise healing, hope, and renewal. And as you continue to drift through this enchanted place, you realize that you are not merely a visitor. You are a part of this dream, a living thread woven into the fabric of its magic, forever connected to the endless dance of beauty and peace that flows through the market of sweet dreams. Thank you so much for joining me on this peaceful journey through dreams and wonder. I hope this story has wrapped you in calm and carried you closer to a restful, healing sleep. If you enjoyed this moment of calm and would like to travel with me again to worlds of serenity and gentle dreams, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Story to Sleep channel. Your support helps bring more stories that soothe the soul and ease the mind. Stories that guide us softly into the sweetest rest. Sleep well, dream deeply, and I'll see you again soon for another journey into peace. Good night and sweet dreams.